Welcome to Be Bold Branding. Today, you are never going to hear the word no the same way again. We're actually going to change the way you view the word no forever. So what does that mean? I mean, how can you prepare for the word no and even change the perception and the reality of the word no when it comes to your business and brand? Well, there are actually 3 no's that you need to know. No pun intended.
Know your nose.
That's right. Know your nose. It's like follow your nose wherever it goes.
Who knows?
Remember that was the Fruit Loop, Toucan Sam, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Who knows what the nose knows? Speak, B.
They're not going to take us seriously. They're just not. Okay. So anyway, there are 3 no's you need to know today, and we're going to go over these right now. I'm Tanya Eberhardt, founder of BrandFace, where we help business stars differentiate themselves, and we do that through personal branding.
Hey guys, I'm Michael Carr. I'm the COO of BrandFace. I was a client before I became a partner in the company, and we're the only comprehensive personal brand building course across the globe. Thank you for joining us today to find out a new way to look at no's. No's are really great things.
No's actually suck most of the time. Right?
Well, they do. Because
nobody wants to hear no.
We're quantifying no's for you guys today, so they don't suck as bad as they normally do.
That's
yeah.
Well, honestly, I actually first came in, this concept first became known to me from a sales manager that worked at Electrolux vacuum sales. So right out of college, here I go selling vacuum cleaners door to door. For those of you who don't know my story, you can go ahead and laugh. And before you even ask, talk about things sucking, right? Before you even ask, it was Electrolux vacuum cleaner sales, not Rainbow or Kirby. Those are like inferior products. It was Electrolux. So the sales manager's name was W.T. Howell, and what a fine man he was. Unfortunately, he has passed, and rest in peace, W.T. And he taught me more about sales than any other job has before or since. And in fact, he used to have sales meetings on Saturday mornings. Talk about another sucking thing.
Like you had to be there?
It was mandatory. You had to be there. So I would show up. Here I am dragging myself in on a Saturday. I was in college, people. I mean, I stayed up late the night before and practically dragged myself in there.
That's tough.
But we would line up these folding chairs in front of it was either a dry erase board or a chalkboard. I can't remember which right now. But he would go through over and over and over and just practically like pound these sales theories into our head, and it was the greatest sales training that I had ever received. And I'll never forget 2 things that he said to me. One applies today. I'll tell you the other one first. The other one was, when is the best time to make a sale? Right after you've just made one. Because you're on cloud 9, you're never going to feel better about things. You're never going to top that level of confidence, right?
Listen to this, guys. Think about this as an acumen. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's the best time to prospect. You just got a listing.
That's right. That's so right. Yeah, and that's a sidebar. Doesn't have anything really to do with our presentation today, but I wanted to honor WT by saying that and telling you what a fine man he was and what a great trainer he was. So, as it relates to our no presentation for today, one of the most poignant things that I ever learned from him was no just means they don't know enough. Think about that for a minute. I was blown away the first time I heard it. I couldn't have been more than like 18, 19 years old. And sitting in amidst a big group of people, I was the youngest one there. And I was just, soaking all of this stuff in, thinking, gosh, that makes a lot of sense. And I really used that because if you think of the old ways of vacuum cleaner sales, if you watch I Love Lucy, where they cracked the door open and the guy just threw the dirt on the floor, and then they had no choice but to come in and clean it up, right? That was not the way we did things. But when I realized that when I walked in the door and I could actually educate them and tell them, first of all, I needed my story to get in the door. And that's where the first glimpse of personal branding came into my life. I realized this is not just about selling a vacuum cleaner, right? Because they're not going to let me in the house.
Right.
Most of the time they were not willing to let. Sometimes they thought, oh, poor little college kid, let's let her in, And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to use that. I'm just going to roll with that. So I said, hey, I'm in college. I'm working my way, through school and paying for it myself. And if you would let me come in and demonstrate a vacuum and a shampooer, those were the good days. I got the double duty, right? If you let me do both, then I will get credits toward school, toward college. Not college credits, but with my company, I got more credits toward that, and then they would contribute to school, and sometimes they actually did through their bonuses. So I used that, and it was. And
what
I got
a point
in,
of differentiation!
It was right off the bat, because even if to them it was, oh, poor college student, right? I didn't know any better. I was 19.
Yeah, but they probably didn't have a lot of college people knocking on their door, They see somebody that's working, that's trying their craft, working their craft.
Yep. They had the guys in suits, even on a sweltering hot summer day, knocking on their door. Yeah. And then they had college kids.
Good old days of sales.
Right? College kids. So that really was my first glimpse into personal branding, and where I learned that if I get in the door and I give them more information and knowledge about me as a person and what I'm trying to achieve, they were as willing to help me as they were to buy a vacuum cleaner. They'd be more willing to let me in to help me than they would to say, oh, well, I need a new vacuum cleaner.
But that was enough to get their attention.
It was.
And then they might open up, and then you can educate them. One of the things you fight as a salesperson with that no, and why he's so smart to say they don't know enough. And we make this joke all the time. How many of your clients are smarter than you ever will be in real estate, right? It blows my mind. I cannot sell enough houses to be smarter than most of my clients. Selling their house, but hey, that's right. That's their house.
That's their house. That's their house. But there's so many. There's a quadruple entendre here. With I don't know enough. They don't know enough about you. They might not know enough about the product or the process or the service or the system or whatever that is. They might not know certain things that are going to help them achieve what they want to achieve. So no means I don't know enough. In terms of personal branding, what that means is you need to get your story pulled together, guys. Get it pulled together so they know more about you and why they should do business with you. It's a huge, huge difference. And that really changed the word no. That's probably the most powerful of the three we're going to talk about today.
Yeah,
but that changed how I view the word no, period. It really did. So that's the first one. They don't know enough.
They don't know enough. Hey, number two is the number two no is there is no one better equipped to help your client than you. Okay, no one better equipped to help your client than you. And you need to approach this with your sales techniques, right? Because we're getting in a little bit of coaching, but do this because you need to have the confidence of why you are the best fit for that person and why you can show them the best way to get what they want, which is, to sell their house.
Exactly.
But it's very important. This becomes as a direct result of pulling your brand together, and why that's very important. If you have your brand together, if you have those elements, we know, I keep saying this, I feel like a broken record this week. We know that NAR says that a huge percentage, 75-80% of people look up their real estate agents before they hire them. They're looking at your social media. They're like, every one of those things are teaching them in a pulled together brand why no one can help them better than you, right? And so it's selling before you get opportunity to sell, and so it's very important that you pull that together, and that then you'll be the only one. You could very easily portray you are the only one that is equipped to be able to help them out, and that totally sets you apart against your competition.
It does. And I think a large part of that formula, as it's been told to us over the years of, helping agents and brokers brand themselves and all sorts of people, is that it gives them, once they pull their story together, it gives them such confidence.
Yeah.
And when you have confidence, it's just like that when we first started this, when we said, when's the best time to make a sale? When you've just made one, right? It's that confidence that they feel knowing, I've got my story together. I know how to help them know more about me. And now they need to know that no one is better equipped to work with them or help them than I am, right? And
that
it's confidence.
It is confidence, and it is so, and that's why we're telling you about these no's. That's why we're turning these no's upside down, because confidence carries a lot of that. Like when you know in your mind that no one is better equipped for your client than you, it's very easily seen on their side, that feeling that no one is better equipped to help them with their problem than you, right? And when you've got your branding elements pulled together, you got your messaging pulled together, then you're going to portray that first off in a non-human way when they check you out and they're looking at you and they're seeing who you are. But then you get opportunity to sit down in front of them and they actually will listen to you, because you're not hitting them with the sales speech. You know what I mean? You're portraying who you are.
And your brand precedes you. Your brand precedes you. If it's done really well, they're going to know who you are before you ever even enter the room.
What you stand for, everything, and why you're connected to them. So.
Exactly. Okay, so the third no today is very powerful, and it is inspirational.
It's my favorite.
It's yeah. I think the most powerful to me years ago, when hearing that first, they don't know enough, was just like it turned things completely around for me. It's like, oh, no doesn't, because I'd heard enough no's by that time. By the time I heard it, to like last most people a lifetime. You try going door to door selling vacuum cleaners, you see exactly what I mean. Okay, so the third one is, there is no one like you. Period. Yeah. No one like you. Now, it's a little bit different from the last one. There's no one equipped to help your clients better than you are, right? No. And that is strictly from, you've prepared for this, you have pulled the brand together, you have expressed what sets you apart and how you're perfectly suited to help certain types of people. That's that. The other one is more internal, guys. It's there's no one like you, period. And we want you to know that. In fact, we always say, we don't make stars, we unveil them. And that means there's a star inside of all of you. And if you haven't pulled your brand together yet, what on earth are you waiting for? Because nobody else in the world has a story like yours, because there is nobody else in the world like you. So stop thinking about business branding and start thinking about personal branding.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally different things. Because any business can have like a point of differentiation and a logo and brand colors and all of that kind of stuff. But when it comes to the human element, that personal brand, nobody in the world's going to have a story like you. No business should have the same story anyway, right? If you can line up 10 different pizza places and every single one of them had better have a different point of differentiation to set them apart, no matter what that is. But in the personal world, in the personal branding world, you need to not only set yourself apart professionally, just like the businesses do, but also personally from a human standpoint, because people instinctively want to know that face behind the business and they want to connect with the person. So that's, you want to expound upon that one anymore?
Well, no, that's it. You're like, so since you're like, we all say it all the time, since you're the only person that is like you, they think about the sphere of influence that you have surrounding you. So we teach this all the time, birds of a feather flock together. And so when you show your point of differentiation, which everybody has, whether you know it or not, if you don't know where it is and you want help with that, then reach out to us. That's what we're here for, right? And then when you put your flag in the ground, like Tanya used to say, and then you say, okay, this is what I stand for, you're going to be quite surprised at how many people that attracts, because they have those same interests, right? Or they have those same experiences, and they feel like, hey, this is the perfect person to help me with what I need, right? No one is like you. So that's a great no. And again, it's a confidence building no, because it puts it back onto you, and you have to feel like there is no one else like me that can provide provide this service. And so a lot of times, like if we're going to go into it and we're going to say, how am I going to be different? We have clients say this all the time. How am I going to be different? How am I going to be different? Like, we all take the same photos and we all write the same descriptions and we all have the same, platforms and we all have the same RPRs and we're all members of the same, and most of us have the same designations like this. We're all the same. Well, that's why personal branding is so important, because that's the business side of it. And yeah, we have all of that. But the people that you're doing business with, real estate is relational. And they need to know that they connect with you on a level different than just some piece of paper. You can't convey that. You can't convey real estate in a piece of paper. They've gotten pretty good at putting it down, how you're going to transfer houses and ownership and money with paper, but you can't do that in a contract through the person that you're dealing with, right? So first off is have that confidence in yourself. There is nobody else like me, and I'm perfectly suited to help you with your problem. And then reverse engineer it, and it makes it very simple. The next thing going backwards is there's no one better equipped than you, because there's no one like me, and I'm the perfect person to help you. And then all you're trying to do is get past what they don't know, right? Which is really how you're going to help them. And that's what they're interested in. So take those no's and turn them around into positives, because it all starts right here in the mind.
Yeah. And start thinking of no as a positive. Because when they first say no, that meaning they don't know enough, that gives you the opportunity to help them know more, right? Mm-hmm. They're all positive. No one better equipped and no one like you. Right? They're all super positive. So those are the three. I don't know enough. There's no one better equipped to help your clients than you, and there is no one like you, period. Okay? So we hope that helped you guys take a totally different look at the word no and not be discouraged.
Don't be discouraged.
Great fun with it. Do not be discouraged. We all get it. I guarantee you there are few people that will ever watch this video that have heard the word no more than me. When you sell something door to door, it's a totally different ballgame.
Hey, get used to them. Get used to the no. I had this friend one time. He used to like to gamble, right? And I don't even think he was a good gambler. I really don't, right? But he always won. And so I asked him one time, I'm like, dude, like you don't have a strategy here. You haven't thought about this. He was very good with numbers. He was that. And I'm like, why are you so good at gambling? He said, I bet against myself. I said, what? What are you talking about? He said, like in 21, when I'm playing 21 blackjack, he said, when I know that I've lost several hands in a row, a good one's coming, so I just start doubling down. And then it'll pop. And then when it pops, all of a sudden he's way ahead again, right? And then the whole process starts over again. And I thought, if you could apply that to the no's that you get, every no that you get, they don't know enough, and you keep the confidence that no one can help them like you can, and you leave them with that, with some statement that says that, and then you walk away knowing that there is no one like you, and you are equipped to be able to help them, and you go through enough of those no's with those no's, and the next thing you know, you got a yes, and then go start knocking on more doors because you got success, and build upon that.
That was one more thing that W.T. Howell used to say, who was the sales manager at Electrolux. He used to say, you celebrate every no, because that just means you're one no closer to a yes.
Closer to the yes. Very point that I'm making.
One no closer. It's like, woo, I got another no.
Very point that I was making.
Awesome.
With my gambling buddy.
One
he's
step
like,
closer.
Exactly. All right. Now that's one less before I get to a yes.
That's
right?
true. That's true.
So we make fun with it, because you do have to have fun with it, guys. Look, you got to love what you do. If you don't love what you do, don't do it. Go find something else you do love to do, because it is the one thing that we encourage you to do, is love what you do, because then you become better and better and better at it. So listen, we could talk about this all day long, and we know that you guys are busy, but we established a great way for you guys to connect with us. DiscussYourBrand.com. DiscussYourBrand.com, and get started today. Even if you're not even sure about what it looks like to have a personal brand, or what it is, or if you think you have one and you want us to review it to see what we think about it, or you want one, then there's no better place to go than DiscussYourBrand.com. You can book a free 30-minute session with our staff. We try to field some of those phone calls ourselves, and when we're lucky, we get the chance to do that and talk to you guys about branding. We love it. So hope that's clear. DiscussYourBrand.com. Yeah. Thank you.
And if you guys like some of the message that you heard today, hey, we encourage you to please like it, love it, share it, and ding, subscribe so you can be the first one to know when a new video like this one comes out. We appreciate your time today very much. Have a great rest of your day, guys.
Yeah, guys. And hey, remember, we know here at BrandFace, it's all about prosperity, okay? And we're not talking about money when we talk about that. We're talking about the 360 of an abundant and content life. And we know that prosperity favors the bold, folks. So we say be bold, especially with your brand. And thank you, Miss Tanya.
Thank you, Michael. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.